Can you stand to fail? That is the question before us. Hey, my name is Carl Latting, and I'm glad that you clicked in today. Listen, when it comes to failure, that's what we want to discuss. I just want to have a conversation today about the kind of failure that we're afraid of that leads towards performance anxiety, meaning that we're anxious and we're hesitant to even start or try something. There's a phrase or a saying that goes, if you can't win, then don't play. And really the genesis of that phrase or that saying, it kind of comes from the fact that we've had many people who complain and cry about why they didn't win or why something didn't work. And we know that nobody wants to hear anybody's excuses. I mean, life is tough for everybody, right? And so, unfortunately, there's just far too many people who believe that they cannot win, so they rarely even try, which means that they end up being in the same place today that they found themselves in this time last year. And when you factor in world events and things that are taking place in the economy, well, with inflation, that means that you're even a little bit further behind this year than you were last year if you did not make any progress. And so, I think it could be that people are just risk averse or so risk averse that they make sure that they're like, I want to be careful before I start or before I begin something new. There's a guy named Donald Glover. If you're not familiar with Donald Glover, you probably are and you don't know it. He starred in a show called Community. He was also, he's a rapper. He's goes by the pseudonym Childish Gambino. He's writer, director, comedian as well, virtuoso. And so basically what he said is that when it comes to art, he wants to make mistakes fast. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at a clip here. And in this clip, he is with a small group of people who were asked by Google to make a short film utilizing their AI software. And it's in this that he talks about making mistakes fast. So let's take a look in here. It's just about a minute. Let's play it.
Well, I've been interested in AI for a couple of years now. We got in contact with some of the people at Google and they had been working on something of their own. So we're all meeting here at Gilgal Farms to make a short film.
The core technology is Google DeepMind's generative video model that has been trained to convert input text into output video.
It looks good.
We are able to bring ideas to life that were otherwise not possible. We can visualize things on a timescale that's 10 or 100 times faster than before.
When you're shooting, you can't really iterate as much as you wish. And so we've been hearing that feedback is that it allows for more optionality, more iteration, more improvisation.
But that's what's cool about it. It's like you can make a mistake faster. That's all you really want at the end of the day. At least in art, it's just to make mistakes fast.
So let's stop there. He said, so at least in art, what he wants to do is to make mistakes fast. And so I agree with him because what he's saying here, he's not talking about that he's poor at what he does or he's bad or I'm just not that good so I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. No, what he's saying is that that's the only way. That's part of the creative process, but it's also part of the learning process and the confidence process that we all need to be able to move with conviction and know that we're going to stick a landing like an Olympian because we've done it so many times. And so when we think about the people that we talk to and we ask them, hey, how are you doing? And they say, oh, I'm working on this and I'm working on that. Well, really, are you? Because you're in the same place that you were in this time last year. And we know that success comes from consistency over time, but a lot of us can't stand to fail. So we don't even begin to get moving on learning the new software, learning the new maybe physical skill, taking the class, what have you, because we might be looking so far into the future and we just can't picture or visualize what it would be like to actually succeed in the thing. There's also the reality of life today with social media that we're a very visual society now, and people rarely want to get embarrassed or look bad, especially for a lot of people to see, because people don't just watch it, they comment on it. And if you look at the comments on most memes or most clips, they can be brutal. However, when it comes to your success and you taking a step forward, well, that's just life. We're going to have to understand that the critics and the arrows are going to come. But if this is the thing that is your path to success, if this is the vehicle, the channel that you have to take, then we have to go. And we got to realize that, hey, making mistakes is just part of it. And so the faster we make mistakes, then the faster then we can begin to get good at something. Because if we go a little bit further, this thinking about making mistakes, it kind of cuts contrary to the way or the mental position that the average person holds, because there's like something about the lore of hitting the half-court shot or hitting bullseye or a hole-in-one on the first try, and people are going to clap, they're going to be amazed. There's this adulation that people are going to give you, yet we know that it's luck, right? So, but when it comes to actual success, that for you to be able to live a fulfilled life, that you're doing work that you're proud of, that you feel that matters, that you're also being compensated for it, that people or the world is able to utilize it, you know, that sweet spot, that's not about luck. That's about putting in, as Malcolm Gladwell said, the 10,000 hours that's necessary for us to become good or get ourselves into a place of what we could call mastery. Because there's also, the whole concept that the only way that anybody is going to get good at something is practice, right? That 10,000 hours is just practice. And so when we say the term practice, basically what we're saying is we're going to keep on making mistakes over and over again while putting forth our best effort until we're able to get it right over and over again. And then we move on to the next skill, right? Simple. That's practice. And so people, they have this ready, aim, fire mindset or mentality. That's what we've been taught, right? We've heard it a million times. Ready, aim, fire. However, what we really need to do is have a ready, fire, aim, meaning that once we're ready, take action. We got to shoot. And wherever we hit, then we can take that feedback, or rather that data, and recalibrate and make the adjustments necessary for the next attempt, right? The practice. And so this ready, fire, aim mentality is going to get us closer to mastery a whole lot faster than just hoping that we get it right the first time. The great Stoic philosopher, his name was Epictetus, he said that it's not what happens to us in life, but it's the meanings that we ascribe to the things that happen to us. Think about that. So basically the same thing or event can happen to multiple people, and they respond to it multiple different ways based on the interpretation that they have of what this thing means. For instance, somebody can wake up in the morning and stub their toe on the nightstand, and they're like, oh, we all know how that feels. And then they might spill their coffee on them in the car, and then they might get a flat tire. Some people are going to say, you know what? I'm just going home. This day is over. It's not going to get better. There's other people who are just going to say, not a big deal. We're just going to keep on pressing. And then there's somebody else who's going to interpret that another way. And so the question that I have then is, can we control this, right? Can we control the way that we handle failure or the events that come to us and the interpretations that we have of them? And the answer is clear. Yes, we can, right? Because we have to start looking at the failures, or when it doesn't work out right, as data or input, right? But nothing more than that, nothing less, just data. But data doesn't become information until we figure out how we're going to utilize it. And that consideration of the use, that is our interpretation. And so can we control it? 100%, absolutely. But it's going to take practice in doing that. And so personally, for me, to begin to get over the apprehension and the anxiety of doing something that I might not have been good at before, or something that I'm hesitant because of how it's going to be seen, I use a technique or a tool called reframing, right? And reframing is basically, it's kind of a life hack. If you're not familiar with reframing, in an article in Psychology Today written by Linda and Charlie Bloom, they discuss it this way. They say that reframing requires seeing something in a new way, in a new context that allows us to recognize and appreciate positive aspects of our situation. So reframing helps us to use whatever life hands us as opportunities to be taken advantage of rather than problems to be avoided. Breakdowns are transformed into challenges and new possibilities to experience life more fully and become a more whole human being, right? Unquote. And so, for example, even though I speak to audiences of 500 to 1,000 from time to time, but most often I'm speaking to classes of 15 to 30 people. And even recording this video, when I first started making videos was a challenge for me. Even though I'm speaking and teaching all the time, it was something about this that was kind of new and weird, playing with cameras and the whole online internet aspect. But I think more than that was, what if it sucks? And the truth is, many of them have sucked. It could have been the audio problem, the sound, or it was the picture quality. And some people, they've commented on that, and hopefully it is better now. I'm still playing with it. However, I was certainly having to ask myself, hey, is this what you do? That was a simple question. Then, is this what you're called to do? And the answer was yes. Have you done this 1,000 times? Yes. So I had to reframe and imagine. For me, the reframe was imagining that sitting in front of me, or the person who's receiving this video, is some young man, some young girl who is always happy to get this information and apply it to their lives, and that it's putting them in a better position at their age than it did or than I had when I was their age, and they thank me regularly. And so just that switcheroo, that reframe caused me to say, okay, let's keep on going. Let's put in these 10,000 hours. And if you fail 9,999 hours of the 10,000, then fine. But once we get on the other side of 2,000, it's straight butter, baby. So I want you, to figure out the answer to that question. Can you stand to fail? And I say, yes, you can. I say, there's no way around it. You're going to have to make mistakes. You're going to have to fail in order to get good. The faster that you fail, then the better you are going to get at whatever that thing is faster that's going to put you in the place that you actually want to be in. So what I'd like for you to do, type in the comments, maybe some situation that you know that you need to reframe so that you can hurry up and start failing so that you can get better faster. Listen, I am Carl Latting. This has been a treat. Let me know how you feel about the info. And once again, what is something that you are needing to reframe? I'm gone.